What's this? 2 bonus streams in a row? I know, right? Pretty awesome. Feel free to come on in and hang out, everybody. I see you guys all over there. Let's get you guys in the chat right over there. And, of course, we've got some Fallout 76 going on right there. We've got some Stream Raiders up there. We also have, of course, some Satisfactory. We're going to get into some more advanced production over here as well. We're going to get into all sorts of trouble here in the stream. Thanks for coming in. Feel free to put a 1 in the chat if you can see and hear me. I do appreciate that big time. Right over here, I'm pressing some buttons and flipping some switches. There we go. Let me know that you can see and hear me. Otherwise, I may be just talking to myself. It does sometimes happen. There we go. So yes, we're doing a bonus stream today, everybody. Today is a Monday. Sorry for the delay. I was actually going to do it earlier, but I was talking to my idiot people over at my insurance company, my medical insurance company, who are just as dumb as the people at the hospital, who are just as dumb as the people at the business office, who are just as dumb as all the other people. I literally wasted another 2-3 hours of my time today talking to them again. I should be able to bill them for my time. 5 hours of going around talking to them. That's not counting the hours and hours I was talking to them before and whatnot. So we're going to get into some Satisfactory tonight, everybody. I do want to try to get some bonus time in working on our factory and making it a little bit more advanced. As well as, of course, we're going to do some more battle mode. Try to get you guys a bunch of loot in Stream Raiders and in Stream Pirates. If you had the holiday off, I hope you guys had a great time on the holiday. I hope you guys come join me for a bunch of Stream Raiders and Stream Pirates. We're going to try to get as many people in as we can. Then I'm going to play for a few hours, and then we're going to go into a battle mode. And that's where we go ahead and just keep those battles going for as long as we can, as long as I can hold out. Try to do as many battles as we can while I work on stuff, of course, here behind the scenes. So we're going to get into that right now. We say hello to everybody in the chat, and we get into it. Hey, Mass Mr. Non, you bringing in that love train and that lurker love. Hello, welcome. Thanks for coming in. We got Thurbrick in there as well, backing me up in the chat. Appreciate that. Thanks everybody for coming in here. I know this is an unusual day for me here, but I've been trying out some bonus streams and other things, and I always try to improve my stream, try to make it the best stream ever. That's what that BSE stands for. We're at BSE 1801. Yes, a lot of best stream ever. There's actually a bunch of them I haven't counted in there that were bonus streams that are not actually counted in that number, but we'll just count this as best we can as we go along. Rotisserie G coming in as well. What up, Rotisserie G? Always great to see you, man. Can't wait to do some more Valheim. I've been thinking about that. Playing some more Valheim. We're getting up there. We got a bunch of iron, and then we're going to take that iron, and then everybody makes some peeps padded armor, get them nice and geared up. And then maybe we could survive the plains a little bit and then go from the plains and maybe even get into Mistlands eventually. We're trying to get that all going on. Very, very fun. Can't wait to get that going. Let me put my watch over here to charge while I'm playing. There we go. I took my watch off. I haven't worn a watch in like 25 years, so I started wearing that watch because it warns me if I'm going to fall if I'm wearing it. But if I forget to wear it, then it doesn't work. It doesn't help me at all if I'm not actually wearing the watch in which the time I'm going to fall. But, hey, I try to put it on each day and try to remember to get that going. All right, everybody, I said we just jump right in, get this all fired up. Let's go. All righty, well, let's click some buttons, flip some switches here, get all of this going. Let's go into full screen mode for Stream Pirates there. All right, okay, so we've been having a problem on this boss on Stream Raiders, and let's just go straight into battle mode, get that going. To battle! Okay. So, we tried to get this boss last time, and I noticed that we failed it a bunch of times because it was something about using a saint or something like that. Our companions sensed witchcraft ahead, and it was like converting our people into their side, and we just kept like failing over and over again. A saint can break their spell, but we can't do anything about real traitors. There we go. And tell them, I know, me too. Let's hope our prayers break the charm imposed over the princess. And so if we can't do it, I'm just going to keep backing this up until we can progress. Again, I don't know what was going on with this, but it was like she was like converting our people over, and we couldn't seem to win this sucker. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my Saint out again. We'll go for the boss first. I'm going to put her right in the front like this. And see what we can do. Oh, we got some quests to pick up here. Let's go ahead and collect some of those. Win some battles. Okay, didn't miss out on anything there. It kind of sucks when you turn that in and then it says put so many saints down, and I just put my saint down, and I was like, but we're good there. All right, let's check the store as well, see if we got any scrolls to get us started. Now, you guys can just jump right in. You're going to find that link right there in the chat. Remember, mobile and desktop, doesn't matter what platform you're on. You can come join us for free, play some Stream Raiders, help us out. The more units you put down, of course, the more loot that everybody earns in there. So if we do get to 50, 100 units and so on, the more that everybody earns along the way. We'll get some more of our healer scrolls. Get that going on right over here. And there we go. Okay, so we're off and running for some Stream Raiders. So again, go ahead and follow that link. Come and join us. Then we're going to also play some Stream Pirates. Let's get that one going as well. Pillage that treasure. Oh, you guys can't see me. I just realized that. You guys can hear me. But boop, now you can see me. I forgot I turned the camera off last time when we went into battle mode. So I was still there. You can still hear me at least. All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get into some Stream Pirates. Right over here. Oh, there we go. Mr. G putting his units down. He's off and running. And then here we go. So we're going to go play some Stream Pirates. We're going to go ahead and put my navigator down right there to try to cut his way through all of this stuff and try to make our way up to this area right up here. Try to get you as much booty as possible in this round. And we're just going to let those run for a while and see how we do. Now, again, you can find that link in the chat. Find me, your Captain Kismet, both in Stream Raiders and in Stream Pirates. Is going to help out the whole crew. The more people that come and join us, of course, the more loot that everybody earns. So come join us for both. Super easy. You can play it right on your mobile device and play along for free. So very, very cool. Now, we're not going to do any marbles on stream today. We're just going to focus, again, on some battles because we want to try to get these battles going on. We'll be doing some marbles tomorrow, Tuesday, during the day, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll do some of that over there. But let's go ahead and get back to some Satisfactory. Let's go. All right, now that we got our battles underway, here we are in Satisfactory. Now, we've made a little bit of a base out here, and it's been running, and I let it run. You can see it filled up with plates there, which is awesome. And we can just go ahead and let that run and keep filling up. Now, one of the cool things that it's also doing is when this fills up, it starts to backlog. But because I have another box over here, this can start to backlog. And then as I kind of keep moving my way across, also the raw materials can start to backlog over here as well, which is always an awesome thing. Now, one of the things that we want to do is we want to go ahead and make a bunch of resources that are going to help us make our next resource that we're going to need, which, of course, is going to be iron rods on top of the plates that we're making here, too. Now, we can actually go ahead and extend the rods over here, but we actually need one more plates right now. So we're going to go ahead and start to add another one for plates. And this is Kismet's rule of 8. I'm going to tell you a bit on how to do some more advanced production, which is, in this case, going to be our reinforced iron plates, which are actually not in this one. Let's open that up. Which are actually not in this one. It takes iron plates, iron rods, and screws. Now, actually, it takes iron plates and then just screws. The reason why I need iron rods is because iron rods become screws. So you gotta do your iron rods first. So what we want to do is we want to basically end up with 8 of these at the end. So we want to go ahead and put another one down there, and then we'll put another one down there. Now, how many are we at now? So we're at 3, 4, 5. And then this one's going to be number 6, and we're going to turn it this way. And then this is going to be number 7. You'll see why I'm turning that backwards here later on. And then this last one here, we'll go ahead and get our zooping on. Hey, Dr. J, thanks for coming in, hanging out. We got some battles going on. Both Stream Raiders and Stream Pirates. Come and join us, everybody. We're going to get it going on. Now, I'm going to tell you the secret to the entire game on tonight's stream, all right? So I want you guys to pay close attention. It's going to be a good one. Now, of course, the first thing that we're trying to produce is plates. So the first three, we're going to go ahead and say to be plates. Now, one of the things that I like to do, it makes it easier to line this stuff up, is to get up on the top here and then kind of look at it from up here. And then you can see which direction your arrow is going. I want it to go ahead and go toward me here, from here into there. Like that. It's also a good habit to get in, to go from and then to, as opposed to to and from, and then have it automatically figure out the direction. It's a good habit to get into that. So that's going to go ahead and create a bunch of plates. We'll tell this one right here to be plates as well. All right, so we got 3 plates going. Now the next thing that we want to do is we want to output some screws over here. So we're going to go ahead and turn this one that way. Run this into here and see if we can just kind of jump up in here and then jump up in here. And then we're going to go ahead and make 2 of these screws. And get where our output is. There we go. And then this here. And then this from here to there. So these 2 are going to go together, and they're going to go to the next one. So those are 3 plates, two rods, actually, iron rods. And then we're going to put 3 screws at the end. Now, why am I doing it in this specific order? And that's because when you go to create the screws are then going to become, or I mean, when you do the rods, the screws are going to become, those rods are going to become screws. There we go. I knew my brain would kick in eventually. So what we want to do is we want to take the rods from over here, run them over here into the back of these ones, because I've turned these around backwards, and make these into screws. Like so. So we're going to go ahead and do that and into there. Now, eventually we're going to need faster belts to make all this work, but to get it started, we can go ahead and get that going. Now, in the end, what we're going to need is we're going to need both the rods and the screws together. So what's going to happen is we're going to actually output it on the other side over here. We can see they're all over here, and that's when we want to merge it back together. Right over here. And again, we want to make sure that our arrows are pointing in the right direction. Once we get our arrow in there, then it will come out and merge into here. Like so. Now again, it's very important your belt speeds and your belt directions and where you're sending stuff to. That's very important. Also your input and output levels. And this is going to optimize the input and output levels for reinforced iron plates. So this whole area here is to set up reinforced iron plates. So one of the things that we want to do, though, is we also want to be able to feed more of these little iron ingots into the back of these here. And it's pretty easy since we've already got it kind of set up here. We want to go ahead and say, okay, this is going to be a splitter. So it's going to input from this side. Let's get over here so we can see it. There we go. So orange is input, green is output. We can see the 2 lines are also lining up, which is telling us that it is lining up off the back of there. And then also the cross there. Now, one of the things also I suggest is to do them all in a sequence. When you do them all in a sequence, they keep the orientation of the first one that you did. So if you did one and then you rotated it and you put it down, it will retain that rotation. So you don't have to keep doing it every single time, which really sucks. Right there. Now again, another great little trick is see how this area is really close. If you go ahead and just double click, oftentimes it'll go right in there. Oh, that one isn't quite aligned. There we go. And again, now I have to adjust the rotation there. Get that input in there. There we go. If you just double click there, it'll automatically connect it across because it's such a small space. It automatically knows there's one nearby. And it will connect that over there. And there it goes. All right, it's already feeding those in there. We want these to be iron rods, and then these should be screws. And the cool thing is you just go Control-C to copy. If you're going to do a whole bunch of these in a row, right over the top of it. Up, here we go. And then Control-V. Now make sure, obviously, that we got these connected across. Then right here, Control V, and then you can see now it screws, and that one screws as well, and this one screws. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to take the screws and the plates and then make reinforced iron plates out of that. So we're going to go ahead and extend this out a bit over here. And, oh, I can turn my sound on. Yay for battle mode. Yeah, battle mode is upon us. Get on to it, everybody. Battle's going on right now. Stream Raiders and Stream Pirates. Come in and join us for both. You can find those links right there in the chat. Remember, I've also, I forgot to mention this last time too. I also added down here a Stream Captain Partner with links underneath all of this down in the panels. So if you do scroll down the panels there, you can join us for Raiders, Pirates. If I'm doing Marbles on stream, it shows you how to do that and how to also support the stream, as well as Nitro Stream Racing down there as well with all those links. That will help you out. All right, so we got that going. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to take all this stuff and take it to the next level of production, which is our assembler. Now, the funny irony is the thing I need to make this assembler is the thing that I'm trying to make in this contraption here, which is pretty funny if you think about it. But since we can't do that right now, we're going to go ahead and run over here. Always good to have an extra crafting bench nearby. I like to have them all over the place so I don't have to run too far to get them. So what we need is we need some reinforced iron plates. So let's tell it what we want to make first. We want to make a, scroll up, there we go, assembler. And we have 5 of 8 plates. We need 3 more. We just happen to have enough, perfect amount to do 3 more. And there we go. So we made those 3. And now we have enough to make an assembler. Now, one of the cool things is once we get this set up, that assembler will actually make the stuff that we're trying to do right now. So I'm going to need to bring the screws back, though, toward the assemblers. Now, in the assemblers, in this case, I'm actually going to put them long ways like this. And I'm going to leave a little bit of room just to go ahead and bring that down to here and then this back to there. Now, these are all merging together toward the end here, which I did on purpose, so I can then go in and add a lifter here and kind of do something like that. Maybe we could go ahead and line it up over here and over there. And let's say something like this. Run that up there, and then another lifter over there, and there we go. All right. Now I've got that in there, and then we can also do the same thing with this one, but we can lift it up just a little bit higher. And now what we want to do is go ahead and get the plates from way down here. Now you can just attach it to the end like this, which I like to do so you can see it actually working. Though you can see it also in the telescoping thing there. And now we're going to run this back. Now, the tough thing about running this back is it used to be where you couldn't do that because this is called soft clipping, where it clips into the area where the machine is. But they did fix it now, and it works great. We can kind of just soft clip that right through the edge. It's not actually clipping through the physical object, but it's clipping through its actual kind of border zone. You'll see it usually turn yellow when you're really close and you're really deep in the clipping of that device, but we just happen to be just enough over the top of it that it's not actually breaking that much. Hey, Foggy, what up? So as you can see, it's going to start bringing those plates down, and once we get our power going here, it's going to start making us all sorts of stuff. Now, the first thing that we want to do from the stuff that we're making in here is, and I can see this is not going past that point because we don't want that. We don't want the raw stuff to go down here because that's then going to send that raw stuff up there. There's supposed to be a gap there on purpose, just to give you a little heads up on that one. All right, so we'll go ahead and move this down right there. Connect this and connect that. Oh, and we got to turn our sound back on. I remember I turned it off last time. Audio, and there we go. Confirm that. All right. So now our rods are going to start up, and that's going to start backlogging some of those rods. And then we'll go ahead and take this line and we'll extend it on again. Now, I like to, have one line that's coming from the original, one line that's going to the next one, and of course, then 2 things that are connected to it as well. And I'll show you what I mean. Right there, see, we've got the first line Then we're going to connect there, and then we're going to connect here, and then we have to make another line, otherwise we'll run out of connections. Though we only really need one more, but we're still going to do it anyway, just to make sure if we need any power later on, we can go ahead and extend that out. So now you can see that I have a bunch of stuff going at the same time. So there goes our screws, and they're going to go up and over and around. And then over here, we have our reinforced iron plates. We're going to need some power for that as well. Now these are all powered out over here, but again, I've left a little bit of room over here so I can just run that across, and now that's good to go. Now one of the cool things that I can do, if I do happen to have some screws or stuff like that, I could go ahead and just put that in there. Same thing with plates. I've got plenty of plates. I can just throw those in there. I find that screws are typically the thing that I am out of the most. And let's go ahead and take a look at the input right now. Iron rods. We can go ahead and just take a bunch of iron rods that we already have to kind of get that going a little bit. And that's going to take that and then go much faster. You're going to see there's less of a gap between the screws. We need that to go at about 60 per minute. But what we really want to do is get it up to 120. And if we get up to 120, we can take some of it and put it off in a box, and then some of it for our actual production. Now, I actually suggest that you actually make 2 of these because that is the optimum. 8 constructors, 3 with your plates, 2 with rods, then they come out of that and go into the 3 other ones that are making screws, and that is the Kismet rule of 8. 8 constructors, and then it optimizes the inputs and the outputs to make it run at full efficiency. All right, I had to get my sneeze in. And then when you're going over here, you need 2 of these to basically be outputting efficiently as well. Kismet Love Train coming in. Polymorph coming in with a brand new sub, everybody. We've got a new Teamwork Tycoon, a new member of the sub club. Let's show them some love in the chat, everybody. Right over there. Appreciate you big time. Let me go over here and see how you guys are doing on these retweets. We got 1 so far. All right, let's try to get to 5, everybody. Go ahead and follow that second link right there in the chat. Hit that like button, hit that retweet button. All right, now I'm showing you some of my best tricks. Now, this is the secret to the whole game. Figuring out the amount of inputs and outputs you need to optimize each part of your factory. If you only learned one thing in my stream today, this is it, the Kismet's rule of 8. Where you have mastered your inputs and outputs and then your final product off to the side. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some of our final product here that we're making to make another one of these assemblers here so we can actually make it perfectly efficient. Now, obviously we're going to take these out now because we're going to need to split and merge and do all of that. And I'm going to show you a nice easy way to do that as well. So we can do a center line merge, or center line split right here, and then just kind of split those two, which actually works fairly well. You could just simply make sure your input is facing toward you. Put this nice and close. I'd put it in the center one because it's going to be easier because you can just go into that one and into this one. But wait a minute, we can't do it. Why can't we put it in there? And that's because the thing is a little too close, and it won't let you do it because it's an invalid shape. So we have to watch out for that. Now, there's also inline running as well. Now, what I like to do is have at least one of them up in the air like this. And the reason why that's much easier is because then you could go ahead and put a splitter in here, and best usually to watch it from the side. Now, the bottom one doesn't matter. The second one doesn't matter, but the third one, that one does matter. You want to make sure that it is lined up. That's not lined up. That's offset. Let's take that out. Do that again. You know, it's going to happen quite often that it's not quite perfect. Doesn't matter the orientation of the first two. The third one is the important, and my input is going to be from right over here. And that now gets me lined up, right? Now I can go ahead and take my other splitters here and line them up to the current splitter and then also to the next slot. Same thing over here. Current splitter, and next slot. Notice that I don't go all the way up yet. And then over here. Now, the thing is to think in 3 dimensions, everybody. What you want to do is go up, up, right? So now you got those there, but now you no longer need the bottom 2. And the fact that you don't need the bottom 2 tells you that you can now use these bottom 2 to go into there. And then this one can go across into here. Oh, wait a minute. We got to change the orientation of that one. So we need to change the orientation of that one so the input is on this side. And there we go. So it's going to come out of there into there, and then from here into here. These ones, of course, are going to split up above here. We can go ahead and run these across. What do we got? We got another problem here. Same thing, right? We got to change that orientation. Well, it's not too hard to change it. You just go ahead and take this belt out, go right back in again, line those back up again. Again, don't worry about the first two. Rotate it so that the input is on this side. Take that back out again, and then make sure that it is nice and lined up over there. Looks good. Line this up over there. We got that in there. We now got our screws up on the top side. Very nice. Now, what do we need to do? Well, we need to bring our stuff from way over there and get it into right here. Or what I could do is I could go ahead and bring it down over here. So I could do something like this, where I go ahead. I need to get some rods out of here. I need some rods. Give me that rod. Snag some of these rods out of here. That one has no power. I forgot to power that one up. That was my bad. My bad. Nope. Little misclick there. Come on, you got this, brother. There we go. And then this one over there. All right, very nice. Again, you always want to double check your production. If I see nothing coming out of there and it says no power, I'm going right for it. All right, I'm going to snag a few off of there. So what we want to do is go ahead and put this right in here so we can kind of control how it's going to end up down in here. And I suggest to put it a little bit lower, but you can still run under it. See, that's the important thing that I like to do, up enough where you can run under it, and then you'll be good. So we're running that from over there, and then we're just running this down into here, right? You don't want to do that. Let's take that back out again. You're going to do that a lot, everybody. Put it in, take it out, put it in, take it out. You'll be fine. But again, same thing here, right? So to make this nicer, make this line up better, it's going to line up here. Come on, you. Give me that green thing. And don't want to give me the green thing. All right, I'll just make it work. But we want the input to be on this side. This way, when we go ahead and bring this down, maybe even make it nice 90 here, right there, and then run that in there, it'll come out real nice. And then we can go ahead and run that there. And now our plates are going to come down the line, and they're going to go into here. They're going to split, and now we'll run that across into there. And so they're going to split that way and this way, into there and into there. And up here, we've got our screws into there and there. And now we need another one of these. And let's go up high on this one. And a little ladder here we can go up. And then maybe that's a kind of a high jump. High jump there, but we'll give it a go. Woo-yata! Nope. Not quite. Kind of a high jump. Let's go here. Oh, too high. I missed my little skates. I missed my skates. I gotta get my blades. I love the blades because they allow you to jump all the way up there. They jump way higher. But that's okay. Here's what we'll do. We're out of rods anyway. Even if we did have it, we'll grab a few rods out of here. There we go. Okay, so what we want to do is go ahead and now consolidate. Let's put it down here at the end, even better. We'll consolidate these two together. So we'll go here. We're going to take this power line that's running across that we did earlier out. And then we'll consolidate those together to the inline. And then that allows us to connect both of those. And then we'll connect it back over here. So there we go. So now we have two of them running, right? Now this is the optimum for this thing, for reinforced iron plates. Two final assemblers, Kismet's rule of 8, so 8 constructors. And then, of course, you need a certain input amount. How much do you need? Well, here's how you tell. The first thing you do is you go back to your plates way over here, and you're going to need 3 plates. And you say, okay, how much do I need? I need 30. Okay, and then over here, how much do I need? I need 30 more because it's exactly the same. You can probably guess what the third one's going to be. That's right, 30. So 30, 30, and 30, that's 90. And then on your rods, what you're going to need is you're going to need 15. So you're going to need half of that, right? So we're at 90 now. We need 15 more and then 15 again. So that magically comes out to 120. Perfect, right? So one pure node at the very beginning of the game is exactly as much as you need to make the perfect amount and have the perfect amounts to actually run out your reinforced iron plates. Except for there's only one problem. We don't have enough reinforced iron plates to upgrade our belts to the 120 speed yet. That's the thing that we need to do next. But while we're doing this, it's actually making a few of them. Not quickly, not at maximum speed yet, but it is actually making some of those and then outputting them over here. Our biggest problem right now is actually the screws. The screws need to get over here at a much faster speed to get down the line and get into the thing. Now, one of the problems with my screws right now, and I'm just showing you all of the issues that you're going to run into and how to optimize it. Now, once you learn this, by the way, you've mastered the game. That's it. All you have to do is figure out the same kind of formulas for every different type of production. I'm going to show you those as I go through. But all you have to do is understand those each stages of production, what their inputs and outputs are, and how to optimize those inputs and outputs. And basically, you can just do that same thing over and over again, and be completely optimized for each section. Now, there are alternate recipes as well. I'm not going to show you alternate recipes because not everyone's going to have those. And it doesn't matter whether you're on console or on PC like me or wherever you're playing Satisfactory. I want you to be able to do and understand the concepts, and then you can go ahead and use those alternate recipes to basically be more optimized, use less resources for a bigger return. I have used alternate recipes before, but again, I do it just so it's universal. So no matter who starts the game and at what point you play the game, you can do whatever I'm doing here on stream. Okay, so our big goal right now is to upgrade to the 120 belt to make things go faster. Now, of course, the things that need to go faster first are the beginning of our production, right? The ability to take it out of the extractor and put it into the forges at a faster rate. Now, of course, we need 120 of our raw resources converted into our iron ingots. So let's go ahead and look again. How much is being produced? How much is being converted from raw ore into iron ore? Right now it's 30 in, 30 out. This is probably the easiest part of the whole game, everybody, because it's very even. The numbers are even. It's even easy mathematically to figure out. But later on, it gets a bit more complex, and you can do all sorts of fun things to go in and make it perfect if you want, or you can just say, screw it, I'm just going to run it at a higher speed, and just to make sure that it's running at least its max speed. But in this case, we want to do 30, right? And then 30 again, so that's 60. And then if we double up that again, that's 40, right? And you're like, hey, Kismet, you already did 40. Hey, you're so smart. You already did 4 of, I mean, not 40, but 4. We need 4 of these. You're like, hey, you're so smart. You already did 4 of them. Yeah, because I played the game for thousands of hours. So I know that is the formula that I'm going to need in the long run. But I can tell you it's not running at full speed right now. That's because back here, the input speed is not fast enough. This input speed is only 60. So right now, we're only getting half speed of our potential production that we can get. But we do have the belts unlocked. So if we do want to go to that higher speed, we can start to upgrade it. Now, I actually have a bunch of this already backlogged, which I suggest to do in the beginning of the game. Just let it run in backlog, even though, you can't produce that much stuff in the beginning. Let it backlog into the box, because then instead of starting it back there, I can actually start it over here where the box is. But I will eventually need to do it over there. But this is I've got a whole box full of it right here. So what I could do right here is I can just upgrade this tiny little spot. Boom! Watch how much faster that goes. Yeah, you may not notice, but believe me, it feels faster to me. So that went now 120. Look at how slow this is going. And then look at the speed of that. See the difference? See that? And see that? I can see it. Can you guys see it? Put a 1 in the chat if you can see the difference between those two. I mean, it should be pretty obvious to you, but you want to be able to visually tell whether your stuff is running at the proper speed just by glancing at it from afar. So now instead of it running out at 60, it's running out at 120. So that means now it's splitting this into 60 going that way and 60 going this way. Right, so now it's still utilizing my belts, but it's still going to try to fill this stuff up. Now, another great trick, by the way, is to physically take this out of here and physically put it in there yourself. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to start to cause an overflow, and that's what you want. You want an overflow that will start to cause it to go all the way to the end one, because this is the one that's usually starved for resources the most at the end. You want to get that going down there, and then I'm going to take all the rest of it, hold down control, put it all right back in the box. Now, so we got this coming out here faster, but we want to feed all of these, even though it's not necessary to run this at a faster speed. You definitely need to get it to go faster down the road. So we could just go right here and do it, but we're out of the things that we need, right? The stuff that we're trying to make is the stuff that makes this work, which is brilliant, everybody. I feel like that's why this game is so brilliant, that they make you make the thing before you can automate the thing. I think that is awesome. I think they did an incredibly great job on that. Oh, and there's something we saw there. I forgot to do that when I was back over here. See how the screws are not coming in there? The number one thing that trips me up in this game, absolutely happens every single time I play, and I've played through 30, 40 times, is the lifters. The lifters are your bane of existence, everybody, because right now those lifters are not working. That's why it's not producing anymore. Because when you put everything in, the last thing you want to put in is your lifter. So I'm taking my lifter out. I'm going to go ahead and put it back in again, make sure it's oriented in the right direction, and now the screws are working. Why it doesn't work anyway? Why doesn't it figure that out? That's because it's in early access right now. So, of course, it's going to have some issues until they get that solved. But just take it out, put it back in again, and there we go. Now our screws are going in there. And when enough of them get in there, we'll see that, oh, that one turned green over there, and we'll see that it will start going, which is awesome. Whoa, we need to leave ourselves a little bit more room over here, or we're going for a swim. Maybe a death, too. All right, so now this is going to start producing that. Now, I need a place for this to end up at the end, so we want to go ahead, and I'm going to do what's known as a center line merge. These are among the easiest merges, when you put it right in the center like this, and then you just go like this, and then, I'm putting the too fast belts there. Hold on, let's slow down those belts a little bit. Right there, and right there, and then we'll go here. Now, in the beginning, I suggest to be real frugal with your stuff, and then later on, not so much. When you get up to the faster stuff later on, I would just go ahead and absolutely go to town on your belt speed. Just make it whatever maximum belt speed you can. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And then I'm going to go over here and grab some out of... Oh, my God, this one has 138 in there. Nice. Grab that out of there. Now, also what I can do is grab the screws out of there, because my belt is not fast enough to make the screws go down the belt fast enough. Just grab them out of there and walk them over here. To speed it up a little bit by basically force feeding your machines here. Boom, there's 500 right there. Boom, there's 500 right there. Now that's going to run that out at maximum speed, 5 from this one, 5 from this one. So we're going to get 10 per minute, which is going to allow us to upgrade our belts and make that go faster. And eventually we'll get it to the speed in which it's running at maximum efficiency as well. So that's what we wanted to do, run as fast as we can. And that's why I was letting that run while I was doing other things, right? That's why you want to build it in stages, put your forges down and let those start to run. Then start putting your constructors in there and let those start to run. Then put in your assemblers and let those start to run. You get the idea along the way. So let's go ahead and keep this going. Let's go ahead and put in our box over here, so it's going to do that for us as well. So again, we're getting in a little bit more advanced thing. Are we ready for our battle? Oh, our battle's ready. All right, cool. Let's do that. Let's go get it. Yeah, one's in the chat. All right. I'm glad you guys are digging that. Again, this is one of my favorite parts of the game is when you start. Wow, look at that. We're getting a ton of them now. Is when you start getting that equilibrium down. You start getting your math and your ratios down. Now, you don't have to do that at all, everybody. You can just look at it and see if you're, if it's going, one thing after another, well, it's running as fast as it can on that belt. If it's spread out, then you're not producing as much as the fastest that belt can go. Great example is if I actually upgraded over here to where it was faster. Say I did 240 speed, or it'll actually be 270 is the next one. If I did 270, you start to see some gaps in between there, right? And see how it's slowing down and stopping? That's telling me that it's actually not feeding fast enough to get that going. So here we'll do it again. We'll upgrade this one, we'll upgrade that one, and we'll upgrade this one. Now watch the difference. See, now it's going through much faster. right? And so as the first one fills up, it's then going to push all of the rest of it onto the other side, and then it will fill up the next one, and the next one, and the next one down the road. Now, you don't necessarily need this speed to be 120 in between. You just need the belt speeds to be 120, and really at the end, you don't need to be 120. Right here, you could leave that at 60 and it'd be just fine. But what we're doing is basically taking 120 and splitting it into fourths, right? Which you can't do with the splitter, by the way. You can't do it with a single splitter. Single splitter does halves and thirds. But if you use 4 splitters, then you can cut it in half and then wait for that first one to overflow. And then once that one's filled, it'll then overflow the whole amount into the next one. And then that one will split, and that'll be 60 and 60 until that one fills, and then the next one fills. That's called inline production or inline running. And it basically works on an overflow system. Look, this one's doing it right now. See how it stops? That means now it's overflowing into this one. This one hasn't stopped yet over here. This one hasn't stopped. That's because we haven't filled that one up. Oh, we don't want to fill it with copper. I want to fill it with iron. I'll show you. I'll go over here and grab a stack or 2. And I'll do this. Now, see how this one's getting just one every now and again? If we go ahead and fill this one up, now you see it stop more often. This one over here will stop. The first one will stop. See how it's stopping? And now this one's getting fed more. It's getting more of that overflow because it can't run it into that other splitter. So now this one's getting a bunch, and then this one eventually could fill up as well. But I'm just going to give it a bunch extra. I mean, I got a ton of it in the box. Why not just force feed it so it's going at its full speed? That's what I would do, and that's what I am going to do right in there. Now, our input is still not at max speed, so eventually it will use up all that excess, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to use up the excess because it doesn't do me any good just sitting there in the box. Now, the same problem on the output side is the fact that we're feeding all this in here, and it's just too much. It's overwhelming our belts, so we need to upgrade that. We need to upgrade its speed to go into there. We need to upgrade this and upgrade that. And now this is coming out at 30, and that's going in here, and that's merging with this. So 30 and 30, that's 60. And then 60 going and merging with another 30, that's 90. And then another 30 merging in, that's 120. And now it's running at maximum speed. Just like that. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. Now we also need to get it to come back this way at 120 and go into here all the way down across all of these at 120. And we're going to do that in a minute after we do this battle. Let's go. All right, we don't got a lot of peeps, but you know what? We may make it happen anyway. Let's go. Let's do this battle. Oh, we got a couple people left. I don't know what it is about this one. We can't seem to survive it. Oh man, just a couple more peeps too. We would have had that. So Sure was in there. Come on, So Sure, you got this, brother. We believe in you. Oh, baby. Oh man, that would be an epic upset, everybody. An epic upset if he makes it. Man, he just needs a healer. Ah, so close. All right, now if you only put 1 unit down, you just cost Sus there the epic moment that he would have had there, getting that going on. All right, we'll keep going, everybody. We'll give it another try. Now again, I'm gonna need you guys to rise up and chat. Come on, everybody, come join us for some Stream Raiders. We're trying to take on the boss. This is where you get your best loot right here. Let's try to get it in there. We're trying to get some healers in. I'm gonna try to use my healer this next time. If somebody's got a Saint, let's throw the Saint down in there. If you got a legendary Saint, even better. Let's get it going. I'm going to go ahead and use my Norbert. He is an epic max level healer. Put your Saint right next to me, right over here. If you got a legendary Saint, drop them right there. And then we're going to need our tanks. We're going to need our DPS. Again, put down 1 unit every 5 minutes. We need everybody to put down all 6 units this time. And we're going to try to get it going. Hey, Mr. Energy coming in, dropping an awesome raid on the stream. Thanks for blowing up the stream. Appreciate that big time. Come on in, everybody. My name is Kismet. They call me the Wasteland Tycoon, or the Gaming Tycoon. I do play a lot of games, including Satisfactory. Right now, we're doing some fun battles over here as well. A little side thing that we do, a little free-to-play game that you guys can join us. Hey, look at that. There you go. Mr. Energy going in my little car there. So let's get back to it. Let's go. Thanks for coming in. I hope you had a fantastic stream. And if you are feeling all worn out, as most of us streamers do after a stream, feel free to go ahead and rest up, get yourself something to eat, and have a great night. But for all the rest of you that are coming in, make sure to hit that follow button. I do a lot of Satisfactory, one of my favorite games of all time. Right now, talking about the Kismet's Rule of 8, where I teach you guys a bit on how to master the entire game very early on, and how to balance all of your inputs and outputs, how to maximize and use your most valuable resource that you have both in game and in real life. That is your time. How to go in and make this perfectly efficient on the first try. And what we're doing right now is we're using four smelters. This is why I call it the Kismet Rule of 8, because we use eight constructors and then 2 assemblers at the end for our reinforced iron plates. Now, of course, we're not using any alternate recipes for all those who know how to do that. I'm just talking about the basics here of a bit more advanced production. Right, so you're learning how to do that. Now, really, the trick to the whole game, and I've played through for thousands of hours. I've played this probably my 40th or 50th playthrough. I can't remember. I've been playing it since it released. And one of the things that I learned is how to master each level of the production at its best efficiency, right? Like, what's the best thing to boost, right? What's the best thing to overclock? Did you know there's also underclocking for efficiency as well? So you're using less power for the same thing. I'm going to show you how to do that as well as we go along. We're going to get it going. Yeah, baby steps first. That's right. Learn how to get your ratios going. And once you master this, you've mastered the entire game. That's it. That's all you need to do. Inputs and outputs. That's the whole deal. And right now we're trying to upgrade because we're in the early stages of the game. We just got to the point here where we started a base way off in the distance, and then we said, we want to go ahead and get some coal power going. So then we went and got our perpetual power going, which is basically coal power, because once you get your coal power going, you no longer need your biofuel, because the coal power will then power the coal extraction and the water extraction, and you no longer need to sit here and do it. You can literally let the game run for an infinite amount of time. And if you're like me and you got an awesome server host, the awesome people at Nitrato, you have the power of time. Because on the server, you can let it run 24/7. I mean, literally for thousands of hours, you could let it run. You log out, you go, you take a siesta, then you come back, and guess what? Boom, you got tons of resources that have been running on that server all day and all night. And that's usually how we play. Now, right now, they're still working on their server stuff, so the server stuff's a bit unstable. So I'm actually on a solo game. I started a brand new solo game. And what we've done is we've gone to our coal, and we got our coal going. And then we went from our coal over here to one of the greatest spots in the game. The reason why I like this particular spot is because it is in between the oil, which we're going to need to do next after we get all of this going. And then it's also close to where my coal is, so I can also bring my coal over. Now, in the area that's just over here, now this is the start area that I started in is the forest, and I've started in every single area and played them all multiple times through, is basically beyond the forest, just up the hill or up the beach a bit, toward the oil, which is out here on the water. And you can kind of see where I'm at on the thing. If you want to see where I'm at on the map, you can see that I basically started over here where the crate is, and we said, okay, wherever we start, we're going to put a base right there. And so that's what we did. And then, actually way down here, and then we started our way from over there, and we went up to where the coal is right here. And by the way, you can have 140 coal plants there. How do I know? Because I've made 140 coal plants there. I absolutely have. It takes 2,000 overhead or 2,000 power. It generates 12,000 power. but it's 2,000 of it is from the coal extraction and water extraction. So you got to think of that as your overhead. And then the leftover power is 10,000. So from coal just alone. I know, right? Pretty awesome, I think. Pretty awesome. Work on mastering beam, road barrier, catwalk, pillar insanity. There you go. I highly recommend not doing any supports or any of that stuff in the beginning. That stuff I have played through before by putting in, making it where it's not floating and, doing the supports and doing all that stuff. Oh my God, that takes forever. And then I had the same problem in other games too, because I've been playing games forever, buddy. I'm the OG. My first gaming console was the first gaming console in the early 70s. I've been playing games for 50 years. I'm also a partner streamer here on Twitch as well as on YouTube. As well, I know at 53 years old this year, everybody. 53 years long. And I say, when people come to my channel and say, Kismet, you're old, I say, nope, I'm high level in real life. And that's how I like to approach that. So we're going to get into it again, having a lot of fun here in Satisfactory. Now, again, remember, we're also doing other battles as well, get you guys maximum loot in Stream Raiders and Stream Pirates. If you've never tried those out, come and join us. It is free to play. You can follow those links right there. I'm going to throw in the chat for you. Find me, your Captain Kismet, and we're going to knock out a ton of loot today. A ton of loot. All right, so let's get back into it. So what we've done is we've set up our process using our first level belts, right? Because that's the resources that we have right now. And that now is producing at a slower level, but it is producing. Look, it produced 121 while I was talking to you, right? So that's still a good amount that it's going to produce on its own. Or you can produce them yourself. You can get a whole bunch of, screws and plates on you that you might have already produced. And then just start it running, hit the space bar on the little thing, and walk away. Come back in an hour, and boom, you got a ton of it. Or 15 minutes, or however much you got. But we're slowly upgrading our input lines to make it more efficient. So we've already upgraded our input lines over here into our forges, because that needs to go 120 down the line. Really, the last one doesn't, but I do it anyway, just to make it go a little bit faster. We've also force-fed some of the raw resources in there just to get it started. But now what we need to do is we need to work on our input. Right? Our input just so happens in this particular area, these are all pure nodes, which is another great reason to put your base right over here. So I've got a pure iron node, which is going to solely be dedicated to making me reinforced iron plates. And you can see even with a Mark 1 miner there, you're getting 120, which is the perfect amount that you need for making reinforced iron plates. Now, we need to upgrade our lines, but don't forget your lifter, everybody. This is something I see people do, and I've done it myself, where you also need to make sure that you upgrade your lifter to level 2. So I'm going to actually upgrade it in my little bar down there, and then, boom, start with your lifter. Okay, now our lifter is level 2. It's going to start lifting that faster. Up here, boom, that's going to start running it faster. Way over. This is a great thing about this game, but you can click it from really far away. Just so awesome. The building in this game, I wish every other game would come back and learn how to use the building, especially this. Especially when you roll over the edge and it knows to go that way, or it knows to go right there, or it knows to go on that one way over there, or it knows to go underneath this one, that one, right? I got to get my cursor to the right spot. There we go. That one right there, it knows to go and go down. Now, that seems like, oh, well, that's the way it works in every game. No, it don't, because I've played those games like 7 Days to Die, like Ark, and a whole bunch of other games that have buildings, and Rust, and so many other games like Valheim, things like that. When you're trying to put something down in Valheim, you're trying to get underneath it, and you're trying to angle your camera so you can see under there. Or if you're trying to make something off the side like this, you're standing up here trying to make something off the side, you got to lean out, you got to crank your neck like you're really looking, because, you're not in VR, so you're not really looking off to the side. But you have to kind of off the side, you got to get the thing where you can click it and do all of that ridiculous stuff. In this game, you don't need to do that, everybody. You just roll over the edge right there where that little metal part is, and boom, it goes out just like that. And that kind of brilliance is in everything in this game. And every little bit in this game, they've just made it more and more brilliant. And I give them huge credit, everybody. Now, I'm not sponsored by them in any way. This is not a paid endorsement. But I can tell you, they're crushing it big time. Okay, so now we know that the very first thing this runs into, the lifter, is going at 120. This is going at 120. This next one's going at 120, and again, you got to get every single thing along the way, otherwise the slowest thing makes it go slower. Like this right here is making it go slower. And then when we get up here, we'll see that this is also a Mark 1 lifter here. So that making it go slower. So we have to have every piece of that going. Now you can just pull it up like you're going to put it down and then click on it. It will upgrade it. If you roll over it and it doesn't act like it can upgrade, it doesn't highlight, that means it's already that thing. It's already a level 2, or you can act like you're going to take it out. You hit F on the PC and you can see that it says Mark II right there. So now what's happening is now this is really bringing in a lot, right? It's keeping up. You can see it's going 82, 83, 82, or maybe you can't see, it might be a little small for you, but if you're on your phone or whatever. But right now it's at perfect equilibrium. What's coming in is going out. In, out, at perfect equilibrium in that raw resources. So now we've optimized all of this. We've optimized all of our forges, right? And so now we've got our forges optimized. We need to go over here and we need to optimize our iron ingots. This is all going at 120. Now it's coming out of each of these at 60. It's coming out of there at 60. But all the way down the line here, it's coming out at 120, especially here at the end, which is where it needs 120. Because that's going to add up. It's going to be like, 30 plus 30 is 60, and then 60 is 90, 90 and 120 at the end. Now, the next part that we need to upgrade is the part coming out of the box. And that's going to need to go down the line, over here, and then the same thing all the way down here. But not right there. And you're like, well, Kismet, why is there not a belt there? Well, that's because this is separate. This is our screws that we're producing from our iron rods. Now, if you missed it earlier, I'll show you the ratios that I use in the Kismet Rule of 8. What you do is you use 3 of them as plates, like this. And then you use 2 of them, like rods, like that. And then those rods go out, and they go into the last 3, which you can see are turned reverse on purpose. So that I can send the output of this is the input of these, and then these are 3 different screws. Now the problem with the screws, it has the same problem that we've had over there, is those screws are not feeding fast enough from here to the end spot. Now you're going to see how these numbers all line up, everybody, because they figured out these numbers ahead of time. So you got 40 here, right? And then you got 40 here, right? So 40 screws there, 40 screws here, that's 80 screws. Then you have the third one. The third one is also going to be another 40, so 40 plus 80, 120. That's right. So this is going to output at 120. So we're going to need to take this and make all of these faster. We're going to need to make the lifter faster. We're going to need to make these belt runs faster. Over here, and we'll do it over there too. Don't really need it over there, but we'll do it anyway. And then we can go ahead and try to run those down. Now, we ran out of reinforced iron plates, so we have to go back over. And guess what? Boom, there's more right over there where we're getting it. So basically what we're doing is optimizing. Now, at some point, by the way, I stopped worrying about the little bit here and there and there and here. I start upgrading everything to the next level belts. And the reason why I do that is because at some point, I'm going to just have a lot of these. Right? Once I get this optimized, these are all going to run at that faster speed. And we can see here, this is a level 1 belt where we can see it every other one is, or every single one is on there. But over here, we can see that it's every other one. And that's telling you just visually that this is 120. And then this one over here is at 60. So this one's going too slow. So we got to speed that up across there. But we don't got enough reinforced iron plates yet. That's why we got to get more over here. Now, while we're waiting for more of that, let's go ahead and do a little Stream Pirates, and we'll come back after it's made us a little bit more, and then we'll upgrade all of this, and then this will be going at full speed. All right, let's go do that. To battle! All right, battle time. We got 15 more minutes. Come and join us, everybody. Follow that link in the chat. Remember, this is free to play. Remember, you can earn some epic loot in there. You can get new units unlocked, upgrade your units, all of that kind of stuff. That's what this bonus stream is all about, to get you guys maximum loot. So definitely come and participate by following that link. Again, in the chat, find me, your Captain Kismet. Put your units down on the battle board. Earn yourself some epic loot. And we'll come back to that later on when that's ready in another 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and do some Stream Pirates. Pillage that treasure. There we go. Now, this is a separate game. This game is Stream Pirates. Also, you can find that link in the chat. Same thing. Click that link. Go up to streampirates.com. Find me, your Captain Kismet. You can play it on mobile or on desktop. And you can go ahead and start putting some units down and help us battle it out. And I'm going to go in here and put down my navigator to try to cut through all of this. There we go. Right there. Now, again, you can put your units down. Your units have different things they can do. Some of them can clear rocks or stones or whatever it is, and you can actually move them after they've kind of cleared an area. You can move them. Now, one of the things I suggest in Stream Pirates is you also have a healer by whoever's doing all the damage. You keep your healer away from all the other mobs so they're not damaging your healer. And your healer will then heal your primary units. So you can have up to 3 units going at the same time here in Stream Pirates. So very, very fun. Now, we just kind of let that run in the background. We come back to it in about 15 minutes or so. All right, so there we go. So we've got that going again. Now it's going a bit easier. It's going a bit faster. How can we speed this up a little bit? Well, again, go in here and just force feed. Force feed some of them screws in there, right? Force feed some of these screws in there. Because screws is what's slowing us down right now. That's what's making us go a little bit slower. And now that we've sped up the belts a bit, it should go a bit faster. Let's double check, though, that we've done our lifter. Yes, we done our lifter. This is going at 120. This is going at, well, it's going at Mark 1. That's okay, because this is 40 and 40. That's okay if this is coming out at 60, because it's only outputting at 40. Now, another problem that we have is the input of these screws. These inputs of these screws needs to be going faster, right? So we've got this coming out at 15, and this out at 15, and that's 30, and that's perfectly fine, and it will go at a certain speed. But if we have an overflow, we already have a bunch of these, you can speed it up by basically just making it going faster. So the second it's there, it's then over to the other one. And of course, the travel distance between your previous setup, your previous resource, like your iron rods, and then the resource you're trying to get it to, that all counts in the calculation of how many it can do per minute. So eventually, I will just speed all that up. But right now, we want to go ahead and just get these screws going. Now, remember, we can also just grab them out of there. Oh, those actually emptied out of there pretty nice. Emptied out of there pretty nice. Looking good there. Over here, yes, very good. And now that's going much faster over here. This is a Mark II, Mark II. This is all Mark IIs. Make sure we didn't make a mistake there. Mark II there and Mark II there. Okay, so now, yeah, see, those screws are getting in there. And then this one right here, one of the things you want to look at is, does it put 60 screws in there in the time in which it makes one? Right, so now it goes in and it's not 60 screws, but 12 screws. It needs to put 12 screws in there in the time it makes one. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out right at the end, right there. And then I'm going to watch how many screws it puts in there and then watch at the optimum rate, right? So I'm actually going to slow it down a little bit first. And then watch as it's making another one, does it get 60 screws into this thing before it makes the next one? And you can just do it visually like that too, so you can see if you're optimizing your input. So we'll get another one in there. Boom. All right. So it's making one. Now it's at 13, 14, 15, 16. And it needs to get all the way to 24 before it's finished. 20, 21, 22, 23. Oh, not quite yet, but that's because it's not ramped all the way up yet, right? It's not ramped up to full speed yet. And eventually, as you see it, it will get up to that full speed. So it'll get to 24 right as it finishes the previous one. And that's when you know you're perfectly optimized, like that. See that? See, the second one, it caught up, and then it did it. Now, I like to put a little extra in there, just so it's not struggling. I usually like to put 2 of them in there, so I know it's not going to be struggling, and that extra resource can just keep it from stopping, so it'll just nonstop run now. Now it's optimized where it'll just nonstop run, and we don't have to worry about it too much. We still need to worry about our line run here. That's from over here. That's slowing us down a bit with these plates. Because we want to get those plates going fast as well. So let's go over here and get some more of these. And let's go ahead and speed up our plate output. So our plate output right now is 20. So this is 20. This is 60. And then this one right here is not connected, which would be helpful. Oh, no, those are my rods. That's rods there. So that's 20, 20, and 20. So that's a total of 60. So really don't need to upgrade this side. But again, just make it go faster just so it can get from where it's going, A to Z, just that much faster. And I definitely suggest just upgrade it all to 120. Just upgrade it all to 120. But if you want to be a stickler at it and you want to make sure that you get everything to be super efficient and everything's running at the belt speed it should run, you can definitely get away with just leaving it as that smaller speed. Me, I upgrade everything. Then it just gets there a little bit faster and that travel time is reduced. And believe me, you're going to have so many of these plates you won't know what to do with after a while. Especially if right now I literally walked away from the game. If I walked away from this game for an hour and come back, guess what? I'm going to have hundreds of these in here. Just hundreds of them because it never runs out of raw resources. So you can just let it run and run and run and just take a break, which is pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. Speaking of, man, that time was going by fast, everybody. Always have a good time. Always have a good time when I'm playing Satisfactory. And again, we'll just go ahead and let that run. Now those plates are getting in there, and these plates are already kind of filled up because I already backlogged a bunch of plates in there. But now it's starting to, see how it's starting to diminish? Instead of it being at that maximum rate, it's starting to diminish. So we need to get those plates in there just a little bit faster. But it's still at 200, which is what we want. Then over here, this one's still at 200. And right now, very nicely optimized. Another thing we can do also, by the way, is take these screws out for a second here. Cut those in half. Then put 200 in there and put the other 200 here. It's not going to be exact, but, it's roughly the same, so it has extra. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break while we let that run for a minute, and then I shall be right back. Let's do that. Good time for a quick break. All right, I'm back, everybody. Let's get into it. Time for a battle. To battle. All right, let's do this battle, everybody. Let's hope we got enough peeps this time. We're going to fast run it. Let's go. We'll take out this big baddie first. Where'd my healer go? Healer dead already? Dang, I don't know what it is about this boss, everybody. This boss is overtuned. Good try to Dev Light Rotisserie G. I'm gonna give you 1,000 kiss caps anyway for working together. Good try, good try. Come on, everybody. Let's not give up. We'll just keep going until we run out of things. It's kind of annoying that you have to do this dialogue over and over again every single time. We got lots of retry tokens. Again, try it again, everybody. Come on, put down as many units as you can. For some reason, we just can't seem to get past this boss. It turns our peeps in. Again, I thought I put my healer in there and I didn't see it. Here we go again. All right. Looks like they're all straight in front of us. Okay, what to do this time? Yeah, I did use my healer. Let's look at our quests, too. What else we got to do on our quests? Oh, we got to collect our quests, get our quests going forward. Check your quests, everybody. Make sure your quests are being forwarded, because remember, they don't auto-forward. Let's see. Oh, what to choose, what to choose. I'm just going to go with my Saint again. Let's go on this side this time. I'm going to get right behind you guys. We're going to need a tank. We're going to need a bunch of healers. Let's try to offset our tanks a little bit. And then put our healers kind of more in the back here. So maybe they'll get hit less. We won't lose them so quickly. Let's see if we can get that going on. Again, put down as many units as you can, everybody. That's how we win. That's how we bring in the W's. Let's go. Pillage that treasure. All right, let's check in on Stream Pirates here. How we doing? We got to get 1 out of 9 goblins. Okay. We gotta upgrade our navigator to our big guns here. Get this guy finished off. And maybe something like that. There we go. This captain right here has got a lot more damage. How much? 400? I need 30 more. I get him upgraded again. Yeah, let's get him upgraded big time. So he's going to go in there and try to take those guys out. We got plenty of time, 24 minutes. We're going to try to wipe those out. Again, come join us for some Stream Pirates as well, everybody. We're going to need everybody to participate and help us out. All right, let's go back to some Satisfactory. All right, so there we go. While we were waiting for a bit, like I said, everybody, there's 166 in there, so we know we are good now. Okay, let's go ahead and upgrade all of this. We already did. We upgraded this. We upgraded our lines. Oh, yeah, we good. We good. All right, we can see those are running at maximum speed. Now, the cool thing is we've actually backlogged a lot of our plates. So we do have a lot of extra plates over here. So if we need any plates for us for building, we still have a bunch there in the box. So very, very nice to have that backlog. Also, the cool thing about that backlog is if you do have a lot more thing, then every machine doesn't have to run every minute. So it actually does use less power. You see your power kind of dip down and up like that, which is nice, though. We could definitely use more screws. We need to get these screws fired up over here. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, not enough iron rods there. Let's cut that in half. Get that fired up. Let's see what's going on over here. That's already marked 2. Make sure we're getting these rods all the way down. Mark 2. And then we'll just do all the inner parts here too, just to make it go just a tad faster. There we go. Just get it there a little quicker. Over here, we'll cut this in half. We'll put that in there so it's not waiting. And then over here, that one's already got 120. So, we can just go ahead and put these back over here. Now, I do have a bunch of extra of all of this in another base. But right now, we're just trying to get this stuff optimized so it's not waiting. You don't want it to be waiting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting. You want it to just keep running constantly all the time, putting out its maximum volume at any given time so that those screws don't have any separation. See how they're not separated now? That's because they're running now at full speed. That's what you want to see. No gaps between your screws. You can see the gap. Watch this. I turn this one off. Watch the gap start to show up. Take a minute because it's got a bunch of it in there already. But what will happen is it'll start to gap. And that's a dead giveaway that that you're not producing enough screws. There it goes. See it gapping? Right there. That means you're not producing enough because we should be producing 120 screws, and 120 screws should keep this belt full every minute of every day. So let's go ahead and get that back up and running. And then that, of course, will take a minute to get back up to full speed, and then you'll see it running at 120 and be awesome. So there we go. So now we got that going on. Eventually, of course, we'd want to have extra screws as well for us to use for building. We'll get into that later. But now, look at that. Now we're looking good. We got 190 of those that it made for us. And we have it all perfectly optimized using one node. Now, the cool thing is, eventually I'm going to get to Mark II, and then that's basically going to double up the production I have right now. So when I do that, I can actually run that out of there and split it 120 this way and 120 that way, and to be producing a whole nother other thing from there. Now, that's one of the early things you want to work on is your reinforced iron plates. But we also want to work on some of our other beginning materials that we have way back on another base that's not here. We want to get it working here so we can let it run. Now, one of those things, of course, is our limestone. Our limestone is a key ingredient in everything that you do because limestone becomes concrete and concrete becomes foundations right there. Now, luckily, I've brought a bunch extra that we can run over and hopefully grab over here. I think I got a bunch of it in this box over here. Oh, I'm going to turn the sounds back on, too. Get back into it. Oh, that's messed up. Yeah, yes, I've had that problem before where you cough or something like that, and it just like, whoa, where did that come from? Those are rough ones. Rough coughs there. All right, let's put the rest of this away. And over here. All right, now we don't need to carry all this stuff on us. But we do want to get the concrete out of there and put the stuff away that we're not really going to use now. This stuff we'll use, but all that other stuff, that's for later, or if I really need it at all, we'll just put it in there and get it out of our face. Okay. Now, another thing that we want to set up is our next level of production. And we're going to go ahead and over here to our hub, which we moved from that base over here last time. And what we're going to do is go ahead and look at where we're at in our milestones. So right now we've done our level 0 tier, which is just our basics, upgrading our actual hub, getting our miners and all of those things. Then we went into base building. We're going to put down our foundations, get our splitters and mergers and all that fun stuff. And then the next part is obstacle clearing, where I actually suggest you do obstacle clearing first. That's like the first thing you want to unlock in tier 1 and 2. Because this way you can use it to get a bunch of wood and leaves that you can go ahead and use for biofuel. And then once you have that, then you get your biofuel going, and then you can produce all of these other resources. Very, very useful. And then now we want to get our coal power going, which we did. And that, of course, gave us our perpetual power, which is what's running the factory right now. We got our vehicles going. And then, of course, our improved combat, which is also a good one. And now we're on basic steel production. You can see we don't quite have enough of each of those things, and we definitely want to get those going, and that's my current milestone right now. But we kind of need to replace the production from over there. And so to do that, we need to go up and expand our stuff. Now, of course, over here, we're doing at a much higher level. We're doing way more plates and all rods and all of that stuff than we're doing on the other side, because we're able to scale it up now that we have our coal power. And so right over here, we're going to go ahead and keep working our way out here. And I don't work on supports and making it fancy. I build in 3 modes. First, there's your basic mode, which is basically what I'm doing right now, where you just make it work. Right? You just make it work. Get it going. Get your factory going. Or your build, or whatever it is in whatever game you're playing. And then you try to go to a super build. Now, a super build where it really starts to pay off. You're starting to double, triple, quadruple the size of all your stuff, and it's starting to make more and more stuff, or you're making more and more income if it's a game that has income in it. And then, all of a sudden, now you've got tons of resources. You have more resources than you ever need. Then it's time for mega building, and that's when you start building the big old fancy stuff at that stage. But right now, I'm just building the basics, and that's what I like to do. Now, right down there is some copper. We want to leave some room in between here because we're going to do our limestone there, but we want to also leave some room for copper as well. One of the things we want to do is be able to get down there, so we're going to go ahead and use our ramp, and then, of course, the wonderful zooping feature right down there, like that. There we go. Now, obviously, you don't want to leave it right in the middle of your node, but I did that so that I can go ahead and get down and then utilize my foundation right under here. Now, if it's too far up, see the rivets? Those rivets are too far out of there. It's not going to work. It's not going to let you put your extractor on top. So what you want to do is go ahead and bring it down a little bit more. And we're going to use kind of a little smaller ramp there to bring it down just a little bit and see how we do there. Maybe you could get away with that. Let's go see. Yeah, it's really about the center of it more than it is on the sides. So we'll go ahead and put those in. Now the fun part, trying to jump back up. There we go. Much easier when you get your skates later on. Okay, so there we are. So now we want to go ahead and take this out. One of the things I suggest you do is to always, at every single resource, you want to have yourself a workshop, and you want to have yourself a crafting bench down as well. But we need some of our rods back because we used them all up. Let's actually just go over here. And while I'm running, by the way, I'm always like picking up leaves and kind of just, clearing the debris. Because you might as well, while you're running, just clears it out of the way. All right, any rods left in there? No, but we got some screws in there. We'll take those out. Oh, we can make some rods from the excess that we have right there. Okay, let's just make a few. All right, very nice. Actually, we can grab some too while we're at it. Because we did overflow these just a little bit, just to make it easier for us to produce. our screws here, so we'll cut those in half, put that there. That one's already, this one actually we cut in half again. There we go, yeah, about 40 in there ought to do it. And let's see, the one at the end here is 70. Yeah, let's say 35. Okay, now we have those rods for us to use, and we need to get our rod production going as well. There is another iron node here that we can use for rods and a whole bunch of other stuff. And we will get into that here in a moment. Now, another thing you want to do is get your chainsaw. I hate trees that cut through my stuff. I don't like clipping for any reason. So get out of here, you darn nature, you. Now, I use that as a joke, everybody, because, you know, Fix-It Incorporated don't care whether you destroy the environment to get them their resources. At least that's my RP for them anyway. Giant mega space corporation probably don't care. They sent you down here to get all the resources, and that's what they want you to do. There we go. Clear that stuff out a little bit. Okay, back over here. Let's go ahead again. Equipment workshop. And let's try to sneak it in here and say on the side. And then our crafting bench over there. And then we'll go in and we're going to make ourselves 3 of these. Well, I can only get 2 on me right now. So we're going to go 1. And we're going to go 2. Now, the first thing I'm going to do with those extractors is actually use this little section off the side. This is also pure node, by the way. And then go in and basically take those and put those down. So they start extracting. And the reason why you do that is you want that as a backup. Right? Just in case, you know, your power goes off, you need a little bit of copper for whatever reason. You need like 3 copper to make that one other thing that you need. Well, you'll have some extra copper right there. Also to help you fast start your production once you get that going. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this out of here because we're going to kind of move this over just a little bit. Or actually, we can move it back just a little bit. So we can accommodate our primary miner here. And we're going to go ahead and make 1 more. Now, I like to make 3 of them because in the end game, you need 3 of these to eventually upgrade it to a Mark III. Now, we'll go ahead and roll over it and see if it's going to let us do the thing. Yes, it does. Now, if you see it turn blue like that and it lets you lock it in, you're good. Now, this, I'm just going to go ahead and take it way up there, maximum, just to tell me where it's at, and I'll fix it later. And that's pretty much it. That's all you need to do. In fact, I could probably get away with taking out this over here. Or actually, I could take the whole thing out and just let it float if I wanted to. But pretty much just leave it like that. A little extra over here so we can grab a little bit of copper there. Just in case we need that later. And then now we're going to reverse engineer our foundation since it does line up there. And then we're going to go ahead and run it like this. Take that out, and then this last one here is going to be just a little step like that. So very often you'll see me build it forward and then build it backwards and build it forward and backwards to optimize the run length and optimize where you're coming from and going to. That makes it super easy right over there. Thanks for the follow, Dead Chrome. Appreciate that. Thanks for coming in and hanging out, everybody. Showing some of my best techniques over here to get an excellent start here in Satisfactory. Now, what we want to do, of course, just like we did over on that side, we want to go ahead and have a place for the raw resources to get started while we're busy doing other things. We want to go ahead and get those raw resources right over here. And so what we're going to do is take this out again, and because this game is so awesome, I can just go ahead and line it up. Now, you might notice that I'm already starting with a Mark II because I've already kind of explained why you would use a Mark I or a Mark II. In this case, since it is a pure node, it's going to be extracting at that 120, and thus we would want to use our Mark II to get it out of there at its optimum speed. Oh, I don't like clipping, everybody. The line is clipping through that over there, so we're going to run it over here. There we go. I don't like it to clip through anything. Now, we want to go ahead and tie our power across over here, and then we'll tie it over here for later use, and then we'll tie it all the way across over to there. Now what it's going to do while I'm busy building out the rest of my copper production, it's going to start that up, it's going to start running it up, and it's going to start backlogging those resources in there, which is going to give me a jump start in the rest of my resources. Now, there is 3 resources that I need to produce, and those resources are going to be vital in the later stages of what we do, especially hypertubes and things like that. It's going to help you get around a bit faster and all of that. So let's go ahead and get that going. Across here, we're going to really extend this out. Now, right down below us down here, by the way, we do have a bit of a water pad down here. Eventually, we're going to move our coal power over here and just basically run the coal line over here and utilize it over here instead of having to run back to the coal all the time, which sucks. Which sucks having to run back there and tweak it and readjust it and add more or whatnot. You might as well have it right by your main base. And again, this is a great spot right here. You can see we're right by all the waterfalls. Really cool. I've actually seen builds where people build like a hydro dam right by the waterfall, which was really cool, and a bunch of other incredibly excellent builds, everybody. Again, you'll see that I don't do fancy builds in the beginning. I feel like it's a huge waste of your time. Unless you have lots of time, more power to you. Me, I only have a select amount of time, only so much time to play. So again, my time is my most valuable resource. So I try to maximize my time by optimizing my stuff as I go. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the same thing that we did over on the iron over here for the copper. Now, I do want to leave a little bit of space so that I can kind of run along here and go here to there and everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this particular spot right here, I want to lift up and over, and eventually it's going to go ahead and drop right here. So I'm going to go ahead and line it up, and we're going to use our splitter as our starting point right over here, so we can see that that's lined up there. Here's our input here. Up we go on this side. If it feels like doing it today. There we go. And then across here again. Now I'm just using Mark IIs. I will stop using Mark Is now as I have enough production to get it started. And if I need to wait for more, I'll just AFK, come back, bada bing, bada boom. We got ourselves more of what we need. Okay, and if you notice that I'm not putting all this in line where it goes from the thing to the copper to making a copper wire. I feel like at this stage, just so it's easier to expand it later, you want to do these in groups. So all your forges grouped together, all of your constructors grouped together, all your assemblers grouped together, because it's easier to expand it much later. And so we can just go right there, and then same thing. This is going to be 120 copper, so we already know that 120 copper, if we want to smelt all of it into iron ingots, we want to have 4 of those. So copper there, copper here, and actually we just control, oops, I didn't want to do that. We want to control C this, paste that, there we go, and then just paste. By the way, you don't have to be in like build mode anymore. You can just do it straight in there. And now we're going to go ahead and take this and drop this right in here, easy peasy. Now, again, I suggest if you're going to do one splitter, you do all of them in a sequence, because then it's rotated how you already had it before. Now, we're just doing the basics, but we also did leave room underneath what we're doing so that we can do under runs later on. We'll take all this out, and we'll run everything underneath, and they actually have ceiling attachments now, which is pretty cool. We'll fool around with all of that fun, more advanced stuff as we go through the playthrough over time. Now, again, we're going to need some power. So we're going to go ahead and draw our power from over here. And we're going to go ahead, again, use our first line coming in. Is going to be our connection line. And then we do 1. And then we do 2. And then we take this. And then we run that down to the end. And then there's 1. And then 2. And then I still have a connection line where I can continue it going down the road. And there we go. So now that's all geared up. Now what it does is it has a little bit of extra over here that now it's going to start running, and see it's diminishing, or actually it's catching up with it right now. But it will eventually go ahead and run that through. Now again, if you want to go faster, you just go right here, take all that out, run right over here, and that baby is going to be fired up. Now we're using the overflow technique. So before these ones get all powered up to maximum, they have to fill all of these first. And it will happen over time, but one of the things I suggest to do is just backlog a little bit of it, because you really only need to do the first 3. You fill the first 3 with enough, and then the last one is usually the one that's starving for resources in the beginning. But that last one should be set if we connected the line there, would be good too. Yeah, and there we go. So now that last one won't be starving as much for those resources. And then this one will eventually fill up, and then that one will get its full resources at the end. And now we got that running. All right, so again, same thing out here. We're just going to keep expanding this out. Keep giving some room. Now, this is called horizontal building, where you're building very flat. And I do this usually in the beginning just to give you guys an idea of it. And then you can come back later and vertically optimize it by doing underruns. You can then put your constructors on top of that, and then put your assemblers on top of that, and work very vertically and create little separate fancy factories for each and everything. Whatever you feel like doing, you know, whatever floats your creative boat, as they say. All right, so same thing. We're going to go ahead and do our mergers here. And we're going to run it down to this end like so. Run that out. Now, I like to leave a little bit of gap. I don't like to put it right up on there because I like to be able to see that all my stuff is working at a glance. And again, I'm having it all going to be flowing back in this direction. Again, this is all in line. You can just use less mergers instead of doing this. By the way, just double click, click, click. There you go, easy. When they're real close, click, click. You don't have to actually drag it and do all that. You just click when they're real close to each other. Double click when they're real close to each other, and you got it. Easy peasy. All right, and now we want to do the same thing, have a bit of overflow or backlog. While we're working on the rest of it, we want to go ahead and get our backlog going. See, now it's going to start running those iron ingots into there. We'll have a bit of backlogs, iron ingots. We can take them out. We can put them into things later on. And you can see that thing's cranking, everybody. It's cranking because I'm only using level 2 belts. I don't really have to right here. And all of the ones that connect right here, I could just do level 1 belts or 60 belts because this is only really coming out at 30. But the faster those belts, the faster it gets from where it's at to where it needs to be, right? That's one of the important things that I'm always working on and trying to balance, is getting it from A to Z the fastest it possibly can. And that actually affects your optimization as well. Okay, so there we go. So we did that, and then the same thing we're doing over on that side, right? We want to go ahead and get our constructors out here, but we want to use our splitters, and I usually split it right off the first one, but it's not necessarily going to match up to every single one because I haven't offset my forges. Those I just keep close together. I'll show you what I mean. So we'll go over here and we'll go ahead and look at our splitters here. We'll offset it just a little bit. We'll make sure it's coming from that direction. And now we're going to go ahead and use our constructors. Now, as long as you know your input level, all the rest of this is going to be easy. All right, what's our input level right now? What is our max input of our coal or of our copper down here? Let's run down and double check. I know what it is, but I'm just going to show you anyway. Right over here, it's 120 because this is a pure node. This is what's so nice about this spot. One pure node, by the way, is worth 4 coarse nodes. So less extractors that you need, less stuff you have to run, less belts you have to do, less connections and upgrades you have to do later on. That's why those pure nodes are so nice. So that's coming out at 120. So we need to make ourselves some wire. We need to take that wire and convert that into cable. We also need to make ourselves some copper sheets to replace all the other production that we have going. And eventually I'll grab all those resources and bring them over here for me to use as well. But right here, we want to have this optimized as fast as it can possibly go. So we're going to go ahead and put this down, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at what it takes to do wire. So wire is only 15 per minute, or 15 per minute in. So I only need 15 ingots coming in, which means half of the first one. So if we want that to really go fast, we could go ahead and optimize it for a faster speed. Now, actually, at this point, since I already have a bunch of wire, the thing that I would optimize first is actually your copper sheets. Your copper sheets come in at 20, which is kind of an odd number when you're doing your copper sheets, right? When you go and you do your copper or your wire, that's coming in at 15, and eventually you do your cable, which is 60. So you need to do your cable at full speed. You're going to need 15 and 15 and 15 and 15, right? So you need four constructors to make maximum speed wire. Now, I'm going to tell you, the number one thing you're going to have way too much of at the beginning of the game, even with a less or reduced production, is wire. You're going to have a lot. So optimizing that to go at as fast as speed is not going to do you any good, everybody. It's not going to do you any good. In fact, I'd let it run half or quarter speed or single speed to get it going. Now, of course, you want to make wire and cable at the same time. So our output on some of these is going to be wire, right? So say we're going to do one thing full of wire there, and then we're going to go ahead and move down the line here and make another one. By the way, I'm using my reinforced iron plates that I'm making over there to do this. So that's why I did the reinforced iron plates first. So now I can come over here and you can see I got 100 of those reinforced iron plates, and I probably have another 100 back in the box because it's busy working while I'm over here working, and that's the great optimization that you're doing. This is running, that's running, this is extracting, that's doing this is doing this, that's doing that, and you're sitting here drinking your pina colada and having a great time. That's how it should work eventually. All right, let's go ahead and do another check in on pirates. To battle! Oh, look how good you guys are doing now, Stream Raiders. There we go. Now that's how to do it. I'm going to give you guys 1,000 kiss cats for stepping it up to another level there. Come on, everybody, put down your units. You got about 2 more minutes. I don't care what unit it is, even if it's a low-level unit. We need as many units as we can get in there. We're going to try to take this boss out. All right, throw them down, everybody. Again, if you put all 6 units down and you are the MVP, you instantly win 1,000 kiss caps for you and everybody in the chat. Do you know that I just gave a $125 Robo-Brain statue away? I sure did. It's right over here. Hold on. Right over here. That's right. That's what that kiss caps do. That's right. You can enter giveaways using your kiss caps. So you want to build up as many as you can in the chat because, believe me, you can never have too many. You never have too many. I got another one to give away as well. So if you want to win it, now's a good time to build up them kiss caps. All right? Go to it. Go to it. It's the problem with wearing wired headphones. I wear wired headphones when I'm in battle mode so I can hear it when I'm not on stream, by the way. I love my my wireless headphones. They are awesome from Lucid. Lucid Sound, they are the best. All right, let's keep going here. Okay, so we're going to say wire on the first one, or wire on the second one, wire on the first one, wire on the second one. So we've got wire. So how much of that is using? Well, it's only using 30 copper ignits, and that's only the first one, and we've got 3 more to go, right? So now we got 3 more we can go ahead and do. Let's go ahead and put another one down right over here. And now what we can do is we can say, well, maybe we want to make a bunch of copper sheets because we're going to need a lot of copper sheets when we do get to our next stage, which is going to be doing hypertubes and doing water pipes and all of that stuff. You're going to need a lot of these copper sheets fired up. And again, remember, it's a 20 input. So it doesn't really work out, right? It's a 30 and this is a 20. But if you take 20 and then 20 and 20, that's 3 20s, that'll be 60, right? So if you take 60 and you cut 60 in half, it'll be 30 and 30. So basically what we want to do is use 3 of these, right, to equal 60 input, and then use 2 of our smelters and feed 2 of those smelters into here, and then that is now optimized, right? So now we're using 3 smelters, but we got a nice 4th one, don't we? We got 1 more we got, right? And that one has another 30 iron ignits coming out of there. What do we do with that? Well, that's up to you. That's what you want to do, right? What do you want to do with the last? Do you want to do more copper sheets? And you could do 1.5 more copper sheets. Or do you want to do more wire? Whatever you think you're going to need more of, that's what I would do. Now, my recommendation, copper sheets. Because you're going to have a ton of wire and a ton of cable, especially if you let it run. You just put a box down, you let it run, you have a full box of wire and a full box of cable, and that is all you will ever need for the longest time. All right, let's go ahead and do this battle over here as well. And I'll show you the copper sheets thing. I just realized I'm not showing it to you. Well, I'll show it back to you here in a bit. All right, now this time I'm going to give you guys a range boost. And I'm going to move it forward, too. Give you guys some range damage boost. Come on, we got this. Come on, we got to get this boss. This darn boss, we failed on this boss, I don't know, 4 or 5 times now. Let's go. Come on, let's do it. Oh, we might got it. Did we get it? Oh, I think we finally done it. 6 times the charm or something. Range that guy's down. Yeah, look at that range boost kicking in. Hey, we did it. Let's see some GGs in the chat, everybody. There we go. Boss kill. All right, finally, there we go. Alpha, Arrington, Rotisserie G, getting that love. I see a bunch of you. You know what? I'm going to give you those 1,000 kiss caps anyway because we overcame it. We didn't give up. We never give up. Never surrender. We got it done. Going to give you the caps anyway. All right, let's go. All right, let's get into the next one. The Abyss regretted the day they kidnapped our princess. Boss defeated. Boss number 939 down. Ooh, we want to go for the blue one here. Try to get you guys potentially a free skin. Let's just go high side. Surrender and release the princess at once. I'm afraid you lack insight. You demand something that nobody in the Abyss can deliver. Okay. Thanks for sharing. All right. Let's go ahead and see if we got any quests. Check those quests, everybody. Make sure you are forwarding your quests. 3 melee units. Win battles. All right. Nothing that I need to actually specifically do other than just try to kill some stuff. Let's see. What do I want to use now? I'm going to use my little shinobi. I'm going to go right over here and help you guys out. Now, I can only put 1 unit down, but my unit is an epic unit. But you guys can put multiple units down. You can put up to 6 units down. If you are the MVP with all 6 units down, you are going to get 1,000 kiss caps, and I'm going to give everybody in the chat 1,000 kiss caps in your behalf. All right, so let's get to it. Let's go ahead and check in on our pirates as well. Pillage that treasure. All right, treasure time. Let's get you guys a chest. We got 2 of 4 chests there. Arrington and Paul coming in, dominating. Nice job, guys. Let's go ahead and get you guys more loot. On to the next one. I'm going to get my navigator in there to try to cut his way through all of that. Let's go. Right there. We're trying to build up. We got 305 pearls over here. Oh, look at all these. Bunch of cool ship skins. Gone fishing. Catch a big one to shower off your pirate friends. Always full of food and drink. Does that replace my hot tub? I don't want to replace my hot tub. I like my hot tub. Let's see. Winter trim, winter sales. Look at all this stuff in here. A bunch of cosmetics. Oh, I'm going to be in here eventually. Let's see if I'm in here. Let's just go ahead and search. Not yet. All right, they're working on it. They're trying to get me in there, everybody. Where you guys can buy skins in Stream Pirates as well and help support the stream. You can also do it in Stream Raiders right now. Of course, you can rock that yellow fedora. That's how you get in the win. You can also get my specialty characters. You can even get me. I'm even in the game. Did you know that? I certainly am. Very, very cool. So yeah, I can't wait to get my bannerman there, and we're just going to keep doing our battles and having a great time. I really like this Stream Pirates, everybody. It's actually really good. It's a very different take than Stream Raiders. Stream Raiders, you just put your units down. You put down 1 every 5 minutes, and depending on which unit you use, the AI goes ahead and runs the battle. But here, you actually have a tactical advantage based on where you put your peeps and how people work together as a team, and I really like that. I really like the fact that we can tactically work, and I can use different units for different reasons, like clearing right now, and then you guys can put down different units that can take on chests or get... Wow, that was a Kismet moment right there, wasn't it? I said it and it appeared, and so on. You get the idea, and you can go ahead and fight units with your different units. And of course, the smarter you are with how you place your units, the better we work out in the end. All right, we'll come back to that in about 30 minutes. Let's go. All right, back to it. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to decide what we want to do with all of this. And I would definitely put the copper sheets first in this case, because those are going to be the things I need the most right over here. So the first 3 of these are going to be copper sheets. So that's going to equal 60. It's going to equal 2 of them. Then, there's only one other thing you can really make, everybody. And you're like, well, Kismet, wire is another thing. Well, not really. The thing is wire becomes cable. I mean, cable's another thing. Wire becomes cable, so you might as well make all the rest of it in wire, because then you can use a portion of it for making your cable, and then you can also use a portion of it to backlog your wire. So then you have cable, wire, and your copper sheets. So let's say we want to go ahead and make some cable, right? It's 60 per minute, right? And what's the output of wire? The output of wire is 30 per minute. So I really would need to get 2 of these going to optimize the maximum output of it. Basically what we want to do is figure out, again, down the line how much it's going to do. But basically I can just go like this and just keep going down the line. And then again, come back here. This is equals 60. So 20, 20, and 20 equals 60. Then we have 2 more 30s, right? So we have 60 again that we can use. So this is going to be 15, and this is 15. This is 30, and then this is 60 right over there. And if we add 60 and 60, that's 120, right? So you might as well do that. Or you can go ahead and say, you know what? Here's what I want to do. I want to go ahead and do a 4th one as copper sheets over here. And then even maybe a 5th one as copper sheets. Now, of course, the math is not going to work out optimum, not unless I make this one copper sheets over here. So that means I would have 6 copper sheets, and that'd be 20 each. That would be 60, and 60, that'd be 120, and then the last one would not have enough. This one over here would not have enough to do anything. Because it wouldn't have enough overflow to even do 15. So we definitely don't want to do that. I want to back up a little bit. And again, I would figure out the math, and then anything that's left over from what you want to do, I would go ahead and put that as copper sheets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 of these, 15 and 15 here, which means it's going to be 60 output of wire going. And then that 60 output of wire is going to run 1 cable conversion, and that's going to output 30 cable per minute, and that's going to be way more than you'll ever need right there. At least I think so. And then the last one, any overflow that I have, any extra that I have, I will want it to, this one's 20, that one's 60, and then this one is going to be wire. There we go. This one's going to be wire, so that's just going to output wire, and that wire is just going to be for my wire box. And then this one here is going to be anything that's left over, right? So if we go calculate, again, this is 15. This one over here is 15. This one over here is 15, so that's basically 45. And then to get to 60, you have another 15 on top of that. So basically, this is going to be running at 15 input, so a little less than 20. But what you can do later is you can underclock it. So instead of it using its full power, you can actually turn it down so it's using less power and producing that 15, and then it would be perfectly optimized. All right? And that's what we're going to do. And I thought I'd go through a little explanation of why, and then now we're going to go do it. Now, again, after you get pretty quick at this, everybody, you can do this pretty fast. What you want to do is make sure that your input is on this side, because I'm running it in that direction, down the back of it. Coming back from over there. And of course, it's backlogging a bunch of it right now. Again, it's going to help me supercharge what I'm doing. Now I'm just lining it up to the back of all of these. And again, these are splitters. And if you do them all at the same time, it'll remember its orientation. Now, one of the things that I think it should do, and it's just me and my crazy ideas, is the fact that when you pick it up, when you go like F and then you go middle mouse button, or if you're out of there and you just middle mouse button something, it should automatically pick up the orientation, the way that the object is turned. Because you're going to probably want it to be exactly the same as the one you just put down. That seems pretty obvious to me, but they haven't either got around to it or they're not going to do it. I don't know. I'm not in charge of what they're doing. I'm in charge of what I'm doing. So let's get this in here and keep on rocking. And we're just going to run all these lines down here. Let's get our sound back on. Nice and easy peasy. And then this going down this way. We'll go there. And then we'll just turn that right back around there. And there we go. Look how much it already backlogged. See, while we were busy working on other stuff, it's backlogged a ton of it. And so it's going to run that down there at 120 and start to backlog the first one and get going. Now we need more power. So we're going to go ahead and take our power from over there. I feel like putting it right here on the back of my box first. And you might be thinking, Kismet, how are you getting that to go on the back of my things? I've taken the pole before, and I've tried to put it on the back there. And when I try to put it on the back, it won't let me. It won't let me put it up there. And it won't let me put it on top of the box. It won't let me do that. How do I do that? Well, the way you do it is you actually don't run the pole. You run the wire. So you start with the wire first, and then you can run it, and then it will let you stack it on the top of your splitters and mergers. I know, cool, right? And the top of your storage boxes as well. Now, why doesn't it snap right in the center? That's another question for another feedback session as to why it doesn't just automatically snap on there. I think that would be much nicer as well. Okay, so there we go. So now we're going to go ahead and connect this one, and we're going to connect that one. Then we're going to move forward, and we're going to say this one, and that one, and this one, and that one, and then that one over there, and there we go. Those are all fired up, making their things and their stuff and the things, doing their stuff. Now, we need to merge these in such a way that we can utilize that merge. So we want to go ahead, and obviously we don't just want to merge it down the line, because what will happen is we'll have mixed resources together. We don't really want to do that. I don't like to do it. You can, and you can then sort it later and have it sorted into different boxes if you want to. But I find it's easier just to keep them separate. Keep them separated. Old song there, everybody. Very old song. And then go ahead and do our merger to start here on this one. And then we're going to go ahead and just pick that up over there and run ourselves a box. Again, everybody using only Mark II runs now. Don't care about those other ones. Those are now obsolete to me. Oh, and it'd be helpful again if it picked up the orientation, would be nice. But it don't. All right, and then we know these first three are going to go like this. And again, double check that this one is copper sheets. Yep. So that one into there, this one here, that one there, this one over to there. And now we're running our copper sheets right there to the end. Now, one of the things that's going to make this difficult is the fact that I put my copper sheets way at the end, and I did that on purpose. So at this point, we could optimize what we're doing and say, wait a minute, I don't want to put the copper sheets way down here. I want to actually just make this into wire, but I know I need one. So I go back to this one over here, which is right next to the other copper sheets, and say, okay, well, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put copper sheets here. Now, this actually is going to change the way that it actually does it. It's actually going to pull the full 20 and actually give your wire less resources. And the reason why is because the wire is at the end of the line. So at the end of the line, it's going to have less resources at the end. So really, it's better if I put this at the end, because the copper sheets would get less. But I need a lot of copper sheets in the long run anyway. So the way that I optimize it is 4 copper sheets, and then the rest all wire. So let's go ahead and make this easy on ourselves by simply just doing that, and then running that there, and then merging that. And now all 4 of these will merge into the same box, so we don't have to, redo that. Now, we also want to merge these together, and really we could actually just use a center merger if we wanted to, right over here. And that's where we just kind of go to the center of both of those, and then aim the green arrow right at our face. And then that merges there, and this merges here. Now, I want to get all of that all the way down to the end as well, just to make it easy for me to utilize those resources. And we'll go ahead and do the same thing here. One there, and then we'll tell it to run out. Like that. There we go. And then now that we got these merged, we'll go ahead and lift it up just to make it easier for us to get it where it's going. Send it that way. Take this one, lift that one up, and run that all the way across there. Oh, if it's going the right direction. Something's not going the right direction. It's probably this. They're both going in the wrong direction. And that sometimes happens. There we go. Up in the air. We might as well just do that one too. It's because it wouldn't let me connect it. Oh, and I'm out of reinforced iron plates. You're like, Kismet, now you got to wait for reinforced iron plates. Do I? Are you sure? Are you sure I need to wait, or is there going to be a ton of them in here when I get over there? Oh, a ton of them. Now we have 390, everybody, almost 400. Like I said, that's gonna get fired up fast, especially if you have a pure node and you're using that dedicated pure node just for reinforced iron plates. It turns out that the math works out perfectly when you do that. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so we got that going. Copper sheets popping off over here. And then again, we'll just run that right over there. Now, that is going to go ahead and run that copper wire in there. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here, except for what I'm going to do is build this part out first, and then I'm going to come back to this. Now, this copper wire that I'm running down there right now is actually not supposed to be for that. It's actually supposed to be for the next stage of my production, which is actually my wire. And so what I want to do is take this and run all of this, right? Because this is going to be 60 output, right? So 30 there and 30 there. And I want to run all of that into my cable. And then that's going to be coming in at 60 at wire and 30 cable out. It's going to be perfectly efficient in its power usage. And we'll go ahead and attach the last one there. There we go. And now that is starting up and that is running. So again, we'll push this out just a little bit more. And then over here, same thing. Now, if you notice, I haven't added any more power. And the reason why is because I'm using coal power, and I put a bunch of extra coal power in to make it where I can have a ton of that, a ton of things running at the same time. Now, I do have another factory off to the side. These are actually running the wrong direction now. Get those in there going the right way. There we go. And you can see that's coming out of there, but we actually want to take that out like this and like this, and now we'll see our wire in there, and we can throw all our cable in there just to get it started. Take out a stack, and now what we want to do is get our cable in at the end here. So we're going to run it out of there, and we're just going to kind of turn it, let's say right here. Turn our thing on there. And there we go. So the last one is going to be cable only, or wire only. This one's going to be cable, and that is copper sheets. And there we go. That's it. We're done. That whole section is done, at least for the moment we're at now. Right? And so now we've replaced all of our copper production as well. Now, at this stage, everybody, when you start scaling up, you definitely want to be glancing at how your power is doing. Right? And you can see that our power is slowly going up and up and up and up. And if we went back and looked before we started doing all this stuff today, we would see that that power would have been way down, and now it's come up, 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 right? Really far up. Now, currently, if we had everything in the entire thing running, it still would not be more than the actual capacity of our power. Right now, we have a capacity of 360, and we're using at maximum 298. But right now, roughly around 225, let's say. So it's not even anywhere close to its max production if everything was on, and it's not using its max capacity of power yet. And that's just from 4 coal plants. So now we've got our reinforced iron plates going. We've got all of our copper stuff going. And there's just one more thing that we need to get replaced so that we can replace all of our stuff on the other side there. And that's going to be from right over here. We're going to put that right there. And that's going to be from another node that we have back further. Let's go ahead and run around here. And we can even ping it. Our limestone. Bushes. I'll grab them while you're walking. Clears the area out. Tries to help you keep mobs from sneaking up on you too. Alright, here's our little limestone node that could. Now what we need to do is we need to bring a foundation over here, or we could use the world grid. Now me, I like to just bring the foundations over and kind of remove them as I go. And let's see, where's the closest foundation? Right here. And we're going over there. So, let's go ahead. Get Get our foundation in there. Let's say, oh, that's supposed to be number 2. There we go. I like all of my nodes to be attached to the world grid and also be attached to my primary base in the way that it aligns. So it always aligns to my whatever I start with. And then at any time, if I want to run a train later on or other things later on, I know that it's going to line up at the other end. Okay, this one probably be a little bit smaller. Let's say a level 2 ramp. And let's see how we do with our bigger foundations here. Again, maybe. I'm not a big fan of seeing the resource coming through. I can't get up there. Over here. There we go. Of seeing the resource come through the bottom. I mean, there's a little bit of it right there, but I think we'll be good. And again, equipment workshop nearby. Crafting bench. And sort that out. We'll make 3 miners. One. Also good for later on when you're trying to upgrade stuff and then you realize you don't have enough resources. And then you're like, dope. But now you would already have 3 of these already sitting over here. That's perfect. All right, very nice. Okie dokie. So let's go ahead and take all this stuff out now. Be real careful we don't take out the wrong thing. Now that we got this all aligned, maybe a little bit of chainsaw action here. Let's see where we're going and what we're doing. I'm trying to get in the center so it gets as many of those trees in one hit as possible. Didn't quite do this one. Okay. We're trying to aim that. I guess we could go up there. Okay. Run our power line. Fix that up later. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to bring this resource probably on the left side there. Maybe one more over. Yeah, that might be okay. And then we're just going to go ahead and start running this upwards. That looks pretty good. And then our foundation. Little low, maybe. Another one. Still a little low. All right, that's looking good. Let's see how we do. We can jump down there and get that guy later on too. Wow, perfect. Nice. Okay, now we just got to get the limestone from over there to over here, and we good. Looking good. How many minutes? We got 6 more minutes on this battle. How we doing on time? Holy mackerel. Time flying by. Thank you, McKiffin. Thanks for coming in and hanging out on the stream. Appreciate you. Feel free to chill out and have a good time, everybody. We are doing a little bit more advanced Satisfactory production here, while we're also doing a bunch of battles and things like that. This is going to be super easy, everybody, because we can just go ahead and use our lifter conveyor pulls here. So we'll grab this, run it up there, and I usually use the top one at this point, and then I'm going to go ahead and count it. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Oh, out of rods. Let's go get some more. Lots of rods need to be done. Now, I actually need a separate thing that's going to be doing my rods, and probably a separate thing that's just going to be doing nothing but screws. And we'll get to all that later on. Right now, we're just going to scalp some of these rods down here. And we'll let that catch back up on its own. When I miss my little car and I miss my hyper tubes. We can get all that, the little car going and stuff like that. We'll get to that. We'll get to it, but we want to just try to get this limestone going over here. And then we're going to be pretty styling in all the stuff that we're doing. Remember to bring our power forward. Now the tricky part. Bring it down and around a little bit. Get it up here without it clipping. Ah, perfect. A little too far there. And now right into our box. All right, there we go. Now again, we need to go look at what our input is over here. We need to run our power lines as well. I gotta remember to do that. Run that there. Whew. See me get dizzy there for a second? Whoa, that was a little dizzy moment there. God, it scared me. Whew, took my breath away. Got a little dizzy there, everybody. That's my, I have a constant vertigo, everybody, and that does kick in sometimes. It does kick in, but we're going to finish up here in a moment anyway. All right, so now that power is then back chaining all the way back to the extractor. The extractor is going to start up, and it's going to go ahead and start to bring all of that limestone over there on that side. I tried to keep my line runs, these kind of conveyor runs, to as small as possible. Because it does take time to get all that stuff going. Again, just using 120 belts now. Right now, again, another pure node. Great little trick, by the way, if you want to go a little bit faster, is to get up here and then zoom, zoom. Go a little faster by using the belt. Also holding down shift as well. This is how we used to get around the old days of Satisfactory before they added hyper tubes. Okay, so we have 120 in. Now, how many smelters are we going to need, everybody? How many smelters are we going to need for our limestone? None, because there's nothing to smelt. You're not going to smelt any of that. In fact, you're just going to use your constructors to get this going. So we're just going to go ahead and do the same thing we're doing right now and just kind of line up that constructor and maybe leave a little bit of gap there so we can get across there. All right, and if we're making limestone or concrete in this case from limestone, what's the input? What's the output? So the input is 45 and the output is 15. Now, just in case you guys wanted to use it, I actually do have a calculator for you that does a great job. Second, I find the button. There we go. And that is my Kismet Settlement Overseer spreadsheet. And if you go look up in here, under all the tabs at the bottom, we have Satisfactory calculations. What this does is it cuts things in halves and in thirds, and you can cut it in half, then in third, and then in half, or in third and third and third and third and half. And however you want to, cut it up, it'll actually do that for you. You can start with your base number, and then if it's by thirds, it'll be this. If it's times this, it'll be that. You get the general idea. Spreadsheets are great for those kind of number-like things. Hey, thank you, Jaeger. Thanks for the lurker love. And so, battle's ready. And so what we want to do is figure out how to make this math work, right? So we say, hey, Siri, what's 120 divided by 45?
120 divided by 45 is approximately 2.6666.
She's obsessed with 666, that Siri. But basically, a little less than 3. So if we take this and we go 1, and then we go number 2, and then number 3, we can go ahead and just run all this in here and, keep it going for at least as much as we can. Again, just double clicking that stuff that's real close together. Grab some power. That one does not have enough power. We'll grab one from over there. Here. Okay, now this one is creating limestone, so we'll copy that. And then we'll just paste it to the other two. Oops, I think I copied it more than I pasted it on that last one. No, that's good. Okay, now again, we just want to go ahead and take our resources here. And this particular resource, I'm going to basically sit in a reversed action because I'm going to need a lot of this. And I'm going to try to just nudge it right next to this one. Okay, now again, more mergers. Checking our merge direction. Okay, now what you want to do is also look at the output. What is the output of concrete? It comes in at 45, but it goes out at 15. So 15 and 15 would be 30, and then another 15 would be 45 if it was at full capacity. But since it's only going to go 2.6, really 2.7, that third one's not going to quite output 15. So what we can do is just say, that's fine, just go ahead and run it anyway. Now, I could be using the slower belts if I want, but completely unnecessary because we just want this to fill up as fast as possible. And so we're going to go like that, and then we're going to say this one in the back here, and then we're just going to run those across. And that's going to run all that concrete into this box. Make sure that all of them are flowing out of there. There we go. And you actually use concrete for stuff later on. Now there we go. So we've got our concrete going. We've got our rods. We have our plates. We have our screws going. We also got all of our copper stuff going here. So we have our copper plates, our copper wire, our copper, our cables, our wire, our cables, and then of course our copper sheets, which is the thing that we need a lot of coming up into the next zone or next unlock. Now there's some other things that we definitely want to do. We want to do modular frames, heavy modular or regular modular frames, and we want to do our rotors, but we should probably wait till next time. We'll just let it backlog. I'll let this run in the background while we're in battle mode, and then we'll do that. Now also I should have been in here in 76 grabbing my lead, so what we're going to do is just jump in real quick, grab some lead, and then I'm going to keep these battles going every 30 minutes for you guys. For a while here, probably for 3-4 hours, 5 hours, however long I can last, letting it run, and then I will, and then I'll be back tomorrow 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let's do it. Now again, if you want to use my private server in Fallout 76, I'll keep it up for as long as I can remember, because sometimes I forget and I get kicked and then I go back in again. But I'm going to go ahead and bring up my private server in Fallout 76. If you are on my friends list, you're welcome to jump on there and use it. I'm going to be AFK. I'm just going to be sitting in my base collecting lead, because that's what I do on the weekends typically, or on my off days. I'm just collecting lead so I can use that later on in the week. How are you getting those power poles to set in top split? I can't do it. Yes, I was just talking about that just a minute ago, Les. I was just talking about that. I'll show you here in a second. I'll show you. There's a trick to it. And once you know it, you'll be like, ah, I see, I see. Let's load into 76 first. Get this going. Now, again, all I do is I just grab the lead, put my guy away in his thing. Now, what I'm going to also do for you guys is I'm going to actually go into the Stream Pirates category, so you guys are getting drops if you haven't got your Stream Pirate drops already. So I like to be in whatever drops is the one. So if it's Stream Raiders, then I'm in Stream Raiders. If it's Stream Pirates, it's Stream Pirates. Or Hogwarts Legacy, I'm in Hogwarts Legacy. Or, you know, Fallout 76, whatever gets you guys the maximum loot. So there we go. So we got that lead. I'm going to put my character in there. I'm going to go ahead and create a group here. Just like this. Create a public team. All right, create a public team. And intelligence. So you can always jump on my server, get in my group, and it's going to give you double XP, even if I'm not running around with you, right? So if you run around and do it, it'll build up double XP, and basically you're getting tons of XP, leveling up like nobody's business. Right in there. Let's actually see if there's anything easy to do on our challenges here. Let's see, daily. Yeah, mod a piece of armor. Drink a Nuka Cherry. Well, I just wouldn't happen to have a Nuka Cherry on me. If I did, that'd be awesome. If not, I'm not going to bother running around for it. Let's see. Cola, candy, quantum. No Nuka Cherry. All right, hold on. We could take a shot at it. Just so happens, in my base, right down here at the bottom, I've got a little random Nuka-Cola machine. We'll see what mystery one we're going to get. Nuka Cherry! Ah, ha, ha! It worked out! There we go! Boom! There we go. Got a little extra score there. Now, also down here, I have a junk extractor that I grab. Not all that often. You can let those run for a while. Same thing here with your Collectron. But I've also got a bunch of other stuff here. Popcorn, coffee, honey, you know, Fusion Core Recharger, and so on, workbenches and buffs and things like that. You can get all these buffs. And of course, a whole bunch of other stuff I could be collecting, but I'm not worried about that. I just want to go over here and park my character right over here in this little spot. There we go, and then we'll set it and forget it. All right, and really quickly, how to do these power poles. Here's what you want to do. You go ahead and grab a power pole by using the wire. If you notice, I don't have the actual pole on me, because if you use the pole itself, it will not let you do it. But if you go ahead and start with the wire, like you're going to run a wire, that's this one right here with a little electric bolt. If you go ahead and click on a pre-existing one and then run it, it'll let you put it down. Not only on that, but also on the top of boxes, on the top of lifters. You can put it a whole lot more places than you could before. So great little trick for you. And there you go. Hey, what's up, Kurgan? Hi, Ken. It's been a while. Hope all is well. Yes, doing good. I just unlocked my first goal for one last wave. I forgot to say at the top of the stream, too. I reserved that, everybody. I reserved it. It is locked in stone now. We got that day locked. Now we just need to raise a little bit more, try to get that travel in there. And then it's on like Donkey Kong. So we're looking pretty excited about it. Pretty excited about that, but we'll get into that more another time. Let's go ahead and do a battle. To battle! All right, now you guys are getting into it. Let me go ahead and fast run everybody into there. My fast run lasts a long time. All right. Oh, Adam up in the top, too. Coming in from behind. Going to take care of those guys over there. Yeah, look at him run. That fast boost is awesome. It's also really good when you're trying to capture things before the enemy gets it. You just run in there super fast. Took me a while to build that sucker up, too. All right, more battles. And remember, get the battles going all night long, everybody. This is your chance to get tons and tons of loot right now. Tier 18. Crushing this event. Let me go ahead and get my Saint in there again. High side or low side there. Yeah, they'll walk up to us. They'll come up to us, so I'm going to go over here. Use my Saint on everybody up there at the top. There we go. Again, feel free to come join us. Click the link. Remember, you can play it on mobile and on desktop for free. You can join us for some stream renders going all night long. Now, also, we're going to check in on pirates. Pillage that treasure. All right, so we're in here. Paul Arton putting in some units. I see you there. Nice job. What we're trying to do now is try to find some chests. We've got the objective done. We got 5 more minutes. My guy's over there when he should be over here doing his thing. Let's see. I can't put him there. And he can't reach that. Let's try to get my marksman. Yeah, my marksman can get it. All right. I'll put my marksman down so he can help you get all of those chests. Run around, get that going on. He's going to help you guys for another 5 minutes. Now, what we're going to do next, everybody, is we're going to go into battle mode. If you've never been in battle mode here in my stream, that's when I suddenly go and disappear, and I just keep the battles going because this is a stream beyond my normal schedule. And speaking of my schedule, I have to go over there and get my schedule posted and do all of that stuff, and a whole bunch of other stuff I usually do on Sundays and Mondays, like running videos and processing them, putting them up on YouTube, and clips and all that other fun stuff that I do, and accounting, and spending time with my family and my wife and all that stuff, which I did earlier today, which was real fun. But I definitely need to get working on all of that stuff so that tomorrow we'll have all that ready. So when I come back at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live, we'll have all that stuff lined up. But the battles will continue. So we're going to keep doing Stream Raiders and Stream Pirates. We're going to let our Satisfactory run in the background. So it makes a bunch of each of those resources. So we'll have a bunch of those resources for the next time. And then we'll start getting more production going. We'll move our coal from that side over here as well. And you're like, well, Kismet, when's the next time you're going to do a battle mode? Most likely on Friday. On Friday, we're going to do that because tomorrow... or really later today, here in about an hour. But on Tuesday, we're going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be doing Fallout 76 during the day. And then at nighttime, we're going to be doing Hogwarts Legacy on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we're going to have our night crew having some fun in Fallout 76. And then, of course, on Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the wonderful Valentine. Man, we've been having so much time with my crew, so much fun with my crew in there. We got like 8 to 10 people in there, and we are building gigantic mega bases and taming stuff. We even got the big furry guys now that we're going to try to make a saddle and ride those suckers. It's going to be fun. Going to be fun. I'm going to get the whole crew together. We're all going to go for a little victory ride with our guys and try to knock down some trees and do all sorts of craziness in there. Can't wait to do that. But that's all next time, everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and vanish, and then we'll see you all next time. All right?
Thanks for watching this video. Keep the Kismet love train a-going. Drop by my Patreon and show your support. Big thanks going out to Resident Spike, Rotisserie G, JC Hunter, AMZ, Carlo, Notorious TDK, Scriplin, Ems, Brando, and Blaring Fire. Click to watch more videos, and I'll see you next time.